Week was incredible. We had a really challenging week, but that makes Friday even more important for us and our businesses. I'm going to tell you how to make Friday your secret weapon. So, if you've ever had one of those weeks where it feels like you just work and work and work and you don't finish anything or life gets in the way, we've actually had a couple of tragedies with friends that have kept us otherly focused, and our hearts are going out to their families. We're sending everybody love and support. And obviously, we're very thoughtful about the blessings that we have, but at the same time, we need to get our stuff done, right? And so, even in the midst of sending love and managing crises or rearranging your schedule, how do you make Friday your secret weapon? And here's the trick: the trick is to leave Friday almost open. And that is your catch all day. You can have standard administrative things that you do. For example, I write 2 blogs. I'm a copywriter. And so when I'm doing those blogs, sometimes I'll catch up on those on Friday, or I'll front load those for the next week on Friday. But what we're seeing people do is they keep moving their item on their to-do list from Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday to months. Lead magnet, lead magnet, lead magnet. You should have that done in 30 minutes. There's something blocking you, and you need your time and your focus to be able to execute and get it done so that you can move your business forward. And so when you leave Friday open, Friday becomes the day that you execute. Friday becomes the day that you take your projects across the finish line. Friday is your superpower. I use Friday as I said I would get this done this week, but I haven't. So today is my day. And most tasks just need our absolute singular focus to be completed. If you have time and you know what you're doing and you're not finishing something, you have an emotional trigger or block that's stopping you. And that's something we can talk through. I do coaching and teaching about that, but you can also check out some of my videos that are free here and on YouTube to talk about how, if it isn't something that you're getting done when it really should be something that happens in 30 minutes, that's an emotional thing. And part of what we can do is say, I've made a commitment to myself today that I'm going to get this done. And so I'm going to get it done, period. And it's not going to be perfect, because here's the best news: you don't have to be perfect. You just have to show up. You would be stunned by the amount of success that I've seen across the board from people who simply show up. It's really incredible. And that means showing up consistently. And if you have Friday as your superpower, that's going to help you do that. Eventually, you're going to be able to have control of your workflow. And that's going to help you in so many ways, because what happens when we don't get tasks complete is they stay in our database. If there's a place in your house that you've been meaning to organize that you haven't, if there's a relative you've been meaning to reach out to, if there's an errand you've been needing to run and you just can't quite get to it, every time your mind touches that, that's time wasted. Every time you write that down on a list for another day, that's wasted time and energy. And you, my friend, are magic. You are what we need. The world needs what you have to offer. We don't have time for you to be copying things from list to list to list. We need you to double down and serve your people, because that is when we're going to really all be able to take the greatest benefit from each other, is when we're sharing what we know in ways that can help people. As you know, one of the things that I really believe in is multiple streams of business. And when you do that, when you have multiple income streams, this level of efficiency is almost required. And especially right now, when I'm trying to ramp up more than one business, I will take the income streams that are actually producing and turn the volume up on those right before the fourth quarter. It can be a lot, and organization is the key. But today, my Friday saved me, because I was able to go into the weekend, or I'm going to be able to relax. I was able to take those things off my list and off my mind, because I crossed the finish line on them. And so can you. Now, if focus is one of your challenges, because it is certainly one of mine, I have a couple of suggestions. Actually, today I am not wearing my wave watch, and you can tell, right? Can you see that this eye is so much smaller than this eye? They're not equal. So the next video I do, I'll wear my wave watch, because I wear that for my Bell's palsy. But there are times where I need to switch it off, that setting, where I can work on focus. And sometimes that requires me doing something like emotional balance. Sometimes that's about emotional eating. Like, I just keep thinking I'm hungry when really I'm looking for an excuse not to do my work. I'm like that kid at bedtime, right? Tasks we don't want to do at work are just like little kids at bedtime. Maybe I just need a drink. Oh, let me get my charger. Oh, just let me read one more book. Oh, right? Like we find all these excuses not to do what we know we really need to do to get done. The place that I've seen this the most evident are people who are in MLMs, and that's not a dirty word. You know, I love my MLMs. It's an incredible business structure. It just needs to be executed properly. It's really important if you're a part of an MLM, no matter which one it is, that you're just authentic and that you're sharing your personal story to the extent that you can. Part of having multiple streams of business is that you're going to have to use that focus and organization to get you the ability to bandwidth, focus here, get this done, focus here, get this done, and do what you promise people that you'll do. One of the things I used to do that, I shared that earlier this week, is Valor. Valor is called the unicorn oil simply because it is so unique and it is part of Young Living. There are lots of good oils out there, but there are also lots of not so good oils out there. So use whatever oils you like, of course, but just make sure that you're working with a reputable company. So if, for example, you could pick up an oil at 7-Eleven, it's probably not been really vetted, right? There's not really a lot of regulation around that industry. So particularly when we're looking to leverage oils to help our moods and our emotions, we want to make sure that they're of the best quality, because the other oils or other things that have fragrance, like a plug-in or any sort of room spray, some of our cleaning chemicals, those are going to have disruptors. They're going to make you have more brain fog. You're going to have your liver working overtime to try to process the chemicals that you're receiving. And so it's going to actually make you feel tired and gross. It's going to mess with your focus. It's an endocrine disruptor. There are lots of information out there that tell us that there are things in our homes that can help us, and there are things in our homes that can really be a burden. So, if focus is one of your issues, maybe the best thing you can do is get rid of some things. You don't even necessarily need to add anything in, but if you want to add something in, Valor is my favorite. It is called the unicorn oil, and I like to do what's called a scent tent. And you can see here, it's actually got blue tansy in it. And so look at that blue on my palm. What I do is I take less than a drop of Valor. You saw I just touched it to my hand. That's not even a whole drop. And I rub my hands together to warm and activate the oil. And then I breathe out, breathe in for 5 seconds and hold for 5 seconds. Even if you don't have oil, you can do this breathing exercise with me and it'll help bring focus to you. So I want you to breathe in for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold for 5 seconds and release for 5 seconds. That alone will help you kind of clear the cobwebs and get back into the focus that you need. The Wave Watch is also a great tool. Tell me what your tools for focusing are. I want to spread what works far and wide. So if you've got something that you love that always just does the trick for you, let's all share it together so that we can focus and get what we need to do done. But don't forget, this week when you're scheduling, do not overschedule your Friday. Let your Friday be for follow up and catch up. It'll change your whole week. Have an amazing weekend, everybody. I'll see you back here Monday, live around 5. And I hope that your weekend is light and easy. I'm sending